Alright, let me get into this. So, there's these two girls, right, that are currently in my life right now. There's these two girls. One girl is an amazing Christian woman, right, raised well by her parents. Her parents did a really good job raising her. She is phenomenal, and someday I want to marry her and I want her to have my children. She'd make a good mother. Um, and there's just so much about her that I can name and talk about, but this video would probably be an hour long and I would fall asleep. But she's great. She's everything that I've ever prayed for in a girl, and she's hot. You know what I mean? Today when I seen her in church, man, she was looking so good because of how modestly she was dressed. You know what I mean? That really like turned me on in a way of like, dang, bro, like I really want you. You know what I mean? And again, she's like everything I prayed for, and she leads me closer to God. You know what I mean? She leads me closer to Him. Unknowingly. Just observing her makes me want to go closer to God, because someday I want to be worthy of, calling her my wife. I want God to see me as worthy to entrust me with her, right? She's great, right? So that's girl number one. And then there's girl number two. This girl is in a relationship with another guy, and this girl is clearly, she's going, right? She's not, you can tell, I can tell the way she looks at me, she's not loyal. You know what I mean? And she's Hispanic. The other girl, Christian one's white. This one's Hispanic. This girl, her butt is just massive. Looks like she has a BBL, but she doesn't. That's all natural. It's like a massive, freaking massive, bro. Massive bone white, right? Now, this girl, right? Again, she's dating some guy, right? Now, me and that guy, we aren't cool with each other, right? She's dating this guy, right? And she keeps, I'm not gonna say keeps, but she be giving me that look. You know what I mean? If I really wanted to, right? If I really wanted to, I could have that. Not dating wise, but I could have that. You know what I mean? And obviously, whenever I see this girl, I'm fueled by lust. I have to find my eyes to not look. It's a struggle, because that's big. It's huge, and I have to like fight my eyes and like to not look. I'm like, no. You know what I mean? It's a battle. And it's even harder to not go up and get with her. You know what I mean? And like, spit some game. Now clearly there's two conflicts, right? And it's obvious of which one I should go with, right? Obviously girl number one, right? Easy. That's the plan. And I don't know why I'm making this video, but it's just, you ever had those conflicts, man? Where like there's two girls, and you obviously know that girl number one holds the higher overall ROI than like girl number two, because girl number two is built for like more of like a one night stand. You know what I mean? She's temporary. Not only is she temporary, but if you do things with her, it comes with consequences. You know what I mean? While with girl number one, she makes me want to wait till marriage. Now, granted, I'm not a virgin, but she makes me want to say no to every other girl. And to say no to pornography and masturbation and to completely just save myself for her. That's how she makes me feel, right? And that's, I want to do that for her. The next time I go balls deep and bust some nuts, I want it to be with her. You know what I mean? And every time I see girl number one, it's not just all sexual. It's more so, 90% of it is more so me just admiring her character. You know? Desiring a future with her. Admiring her character, desiring a future for her. And the other one is lusting after her because she's hot, right? But when I lust after her, it's like, let's say I'm wanking one off, right? I don't, even when I try to think about me and her doing it, you know, to like get a nut off, like I just can't. It's like I can't bust to this girl. Even though she's super hot, I can't do it. You know? I just can't do it. And I don't know this. I mean, obviously, you know, every time me and her talk, we just automatically click and get along. Girl number two, she's spicy. You know? She's spicy. She got that Latina spice. You know, she likes to play hard to get. You know, but you know, as a guy, if you have enough experience, you know that you know if a girl is like, if she's into you and it's like, you know, playing it hard to get, or if she's just genuinely not into you, like, you know, like, and I know, right? I know, and I don't want to pursue that. But the thing is, I only see girl number one on Sundays. Right? I only see her on Sundays. Girl number two, I see her, because she works at the grocery store, I see her like 70% of the time whenever I go out throughout the week to like the grocery store, you know? So whenever I go there, she's there, right? She works there. And I go there quite often. It's the only grocery store local to my area. And I don't know why I'm talking about this. I really, really desire something with girl number one. And it's like Satan is trying to use girl number two and subversions of that to veer me off my path. And I guess the reason why I made this video is because I got to thinking, you know, I just got done watching YouTube. It's like 2 a.m. And, you know, I have to wind down and go to bed. I got a busy day tomorrow. But I got to thinking, you know, I kind of had that feeling in my chest where it's like, man, I really want girl number two right now. Keywords right now. It's like, man, I really want girl number two. You know, like, man, I really want to get up in that. You know what I mean? That is such a disgusting and evil way to look at things, you know. And I would put a little more morality towards, you know, she has a boyfriend, but I mean, we don't, I don't know this guy. This guy doesn't know me. We don't talk to each other. He works there too. But, you know, we don't talk to each other. Like, we don't, you know what I mean? It's just, it's not like, oh, he's my best friend. Like, no, you know, it's the vibes are passive aggressive neutral. You know, it's not really aggressiveness there, but you could tell we don't really, you know what I mean? We don't really respect each other. I respect him enough. Well, not really. I respect God enough to not go and do things with this girl. Because again, there's consequences, right? And then not only is there consequences, but she's temporary. You do things with her, you end up losing girl number one. You know what I mean? You lost girl number one for temporary pleasure. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how affairs start. You know, how guys always beat up on girls about like, oh, like girls would rather, have sex with their, have a one night stand with their celebrity crush and risk a 5-year relationship than to not do that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like one of those moments that I'm going through right now. But obviously, I guess that's just my flesh talking. I guess that's just my flesh like, yo, you're just brick, you're just horny, and you know that you can't have girl number one right now. That's it. That takes time, right? But you gotta have girl number two right now. And it's just a battle right now, I guess. I don't know. As a man, you know how like when you're just chilling, doing your own thing, maybe scrolling through social media, or just you're alone, right? And then out of nowhere, you just get that urge in your chest to just stroke one off. You just get that feeling. You know that feeling, right? That feeling that's just like, yo, it's time to masturbate. And then that feeling is accompanied by other urges of like, yo, go on Google Chrome and go to the incognito tab and like search up your favorite keywords. You know what I mean? And then you get brick, and then your hands on your meat, and then before you know it, you're standing at heaven's door, knocking, confessing your sin to God, feeling such guilt, feeling bad for what you did, feeling like a failure, feeling like God's mad at you. You know what I mean? Then it's just that whole process of knocking on heaven's door, having to confess to God, feeling guilt, regretting what you did, Yeah, back to that feeling. That's kind of the feeling that I was feeling just now. I was thinking about girl 1 and girl 2. I really want girl 1, and obviously girl 1 is just healthier for me. Healthier for my life in general. And I pray for her every day, right? And man, this video is 13 minutes long. But yeah, I pray for her every day. Her well-being, for us to someday get together, and the interest between us two is there. She likes me and I like her. Obviously, I hope that she prays for me as much as I do her, thinks about me as much as I do her, if not more, even better more. But only God knows that. And I've surrendered her to God so many times, yet this girl continuously stays on my heart. It's like each time I see her, every Sunday that I see her, it's just always something good, you know what I mean? Or I'll say this, it's always consistency. That's what it is. She's consistent. Now we can't get together now. I can't really pursue her now because, technically I still live with my mom and I just started a new career. I'm going to be very busy. Same with her. She's really busy. We're just not in that right season yet. Financially, I'm not ready. There's still some growth I need to do. Discipline I need to work on. I'm not fully forged, and she's not fully forged either, but the time is approaching. And I believe God's made it clear to me that girl number 1 is She's for you, man. She's like he's making it clear that she's for me. But it's not time. And I struggle with patience. Usually when you struggle with patience, it can lead you to do bad decisions. I also struggle with acting impulsively. That's not good either. So there's some things that God's working on me, and I'm sure there's some things He's working on her before He conjoins us together. And I feel like what the devil is trying to do, or will try to do, while God is in the midst of forging both me and her, he's going to try to steer me off track. He's going to try and steer either me or her off track. I know he ain't going to steer her off track, because I'm praying for her. I don't know, but he's going to try and do his thing. I guess the best thing I can do is keep praying. But yeah, I guess to conclude this video, I'm not messing with girl number 2, only girl number 1. Now those urges, especially when I see her, will still be there. The urges to talk to her, the urges to hit on her, the urges to look at her body. But right now, man, while I'm in this season of singleness and loneliness, I'm trying to use it as practicing loyalty. I try to visualize myself as, instead of me walking into this grocery store alone, let's imagine it like this. I'm walking into the grocery store with girl number 1, and she's hugging my arm while we're walking in here, or we're holding hands while we're walking in here, or she's walking right beside me, just looking at me into my eyes. If she was there, would I look at girl number 2? Of course not. Of course not. Because I have a way better girl right next to me. But yeah, guess that'll conclude this video. I'm going to post this and then I'm going to go to sleep. Thank you for watching or listening. Peace.